Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. Today I'm going to show you how I turn this beef roast into an amazing French dip sandwich. You know I'm going to do it out on my smoker. Let's get started. So today I'm starting with a 4-pound eye the round roast. I just picked this roast up at my local supermarket. You can find them just about everywhere. There's not a whole lot of trimming you have to do. If there is some silver skin on top of it, you can take that off. If there's any excess fat, but pretty much it's straight out of the package. And we're gonna keep the seasoning real simple on this eye the round today for this French dip. First thing I'm gonna do is just get a light coat of olive oil on it. You don't need a whole lot. We're just gonna get something to get our seasonings to stick. And for the seasoning, I want it real simple. I just want some good kosher salt, and I'm gonna use some coarse ground black pepper, about equal parts, salt and pepper. So make sure you get a little bit on the edges. We'll do that on both sides. Coarse grain kosher salt, followed by some good black pepper. It's gonna give that outside a lot of flavor, give it a little texture, and really flavor that beef. And that's it for the seasoning. What we're gonna do is just let the roast hang out inside on the counter. I'm gonna go outside, get my drum fired up today, bring it up to temperature. We're gonna get this roast on the grate. And I'm also gonna get a pan going to saute these thinly sliced Vidalia onions. It's gonna be part of the foundation for that jus we're gonna make to run these French dip sandwiches through at the very end. Let's go outside and get that smoker fired up. I'm firing up my drum smoker today for this cook using a good lump charcoal for some good hot heat. You want about 3/4 of a basket full. We're just gonna use some starter cubes to get these coals good and hot. You want to leave the lid off for about 20 minutes. Go ahead and open your exhaust vents up 100% so it's getting some good air flowing in there. When the coals get good and hot after about 20 minutes, go ahead and put the lid on. Then we're going to check the vents back. We're going to be cooking right around 250 to 275 degrees today. So I want the top vent wide open for the exhaust, but on the intake, I just want cracks on both sides, about 1/4 inch. Then once the cooker stabilizes out, I want to get some wood on there to generate some smoke. And I'm using some good seasoned pecan. You need about 2 chunks right on top of the hot coals. Go ahead and get your cooking grate in place. Now we're ready to get the meat on the grill. You can cook this recipe on any grill. You just want to hold those temps steady right in that 250, 275 degree range. All right, I'm gonna set this roast right on the front part of the grill so I'm leaving enough room for my pan of Au Jus. Now I've taken those onions and tossed them with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. We're just gonna let them start cooking down, sweating a little bit. It's been about 10 minutes. I wanna take a look at these onions and make sure they're cooking down. We just want them to sweat. We don't really want them to caramelize at this point. So get the lid on, just continue to let them cook. Now after about 20 total minutes, these onions have sweated down enough. They're looking real good. And I want to add my liquid to the pan. So what I'm using is Johnny's French dip base mixed with about 2 cups of water. If you can't find that in your local supermarket, you can just substitute some good beef stock here. It's going to make a great jus. You also want to put a lid on it at this time because we don't want it to get too smoky. It's just going to heat up. We want it to heat through. It'd be really hot when we get ready to dip this meat after a while. The roast is looking great at this point, but we want to make sure it cooks even on all sides. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. This is where we're also going to put our meat thermometer inside it because we're really cooking to an internal tip here. It's not about time, it's about temperature. I'm going to set my alarm for 130 degrees, and when it goes off, we're going to be done. All right, the smoke has told me that I've hit 130 degrees inside. This eye of the round, that's exactly where I want to get it off the pit. We're gonna rest it now. It's looking great. I mean, you can check it out. It's got some good color on it. So I'm gonna go right ahead, get the roast off, get it in a pan. We'll take it inside, cover it with aluminum foil, let it just hang out on the cutting board for about 30 minutes. Check that dude out. It's got some beautiful color on it. We know it's perfect mid-rare right on the inside. It's gonna have some nice color to it. I'm gonna let the Au Jus stay on the smoker and just keep simmering away. I want it to be nice and warm for when we slice the eye of the round. We can put those pieces right back in our dip, put that sandwich together. It won't be long now. Let's get back inside. Okay, we've let the eye round rest for about 30 minutes inside. I went ahead and took it out of the pan, set it out on the cutting board. We're getting ready to cut it up, get it into some of this jus that we've had out there simmering. Then we're gonna make that French dip sandwich. So before I slice into it, let's talk about what we did. I started with about a 4-pound eye round roast and got a little olive oil on the outside, seasoned with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. That was it. Let it come up to room temp. fired up our drum cooker. We got some pecan wood going on it. We're cooking about that 250, 275 range, not too hot. Got the roast on the grill. We also started a few thinly sliced sweet onions right beside it, seasoned with a little olive oil, salt and pepper. Put our beef broth in there. We used that Johnny's French dip along with 2 cups of water. It's simple as can be. It's got a ton of good flavor. We cooked this roast until it hit about 130 inside. We brought it in. Now it's time to slice it up. So this roast is looking great. It's got beautiful color on the outside. You can see it's got a little bit of bark on it from where that salt and pepper's kind of made a crust. I know it's gonna have a ton of flavor. I can't wait to see what it looks like on the inside. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start slicing real thin slices. I wanna see a little pink, but I want it to be, you know, about medium. It's gonna have, it'll be different degrees of doneness inside it. Oh, look at all that juice run. That is beautiful. But I'm keeping it thin. Just think of slicing it about like you would roast beef. Because we're gonna pile it up high on a sandwich. That's what's gonna make this French dip. Tell you what, before I cut any more, I can't wait. I gotta try a little bit of this. It looks too good not to try. Oh, smokiness. That's got a ton of flavor, man. It's juicy through and through. You can get that salt and pepper on it, but we're picking up that pecan smoke that the drums give it. I know this is gonna make a good French dip sandwich. All right, that's what I call a pile of smoked roast beef right there. And I-round makes a perfect roast. Love that cook it got on. It's perfectly medium. You wanna see it a little pink like that. When we put it off in this warm jus, it's gonna still cook a little bit more because the jus is still screaming hot. But what I'm gonna do now is transfer this meat over to our pan of juice. And this is how I would serve it, in a pan with the juice warm. Move it some back. I left the onions in there. Hey, if you wanna strain this out, you can, but those onions go great on a sandwich. I'm just gonna let this beef soak in that jus. Now we're gonna be ready to build our sandwich. So I've had the beef in the jus just for a few minutes. It's really ready to serve right away. But if you were gonna take it and reheat it, you could cover it with foil and warm it back up slowly in the oven. That would be great, or either back out on the smoker. Now I'm gonna show you how I make these French dip sandwiches. I've just got a French roll that we picked up at the grocery store. Split it open. We're gonna start with some of that beef. We're just gonna layer it on. You can go as much or as little as you like. I like it piled high. Of course, you want it juicy. I'm gonna get some of these onions, put right on there. Then I'm gonna layer on a little provolone cheese on the top. And last but not least, I like a little creamy horseradish on my French dip. If you like it, hey, go for it. If not, it's good to go with whatever kind of dressing you want on it, or none at all. And of course, we're gonna give it that dip. Let me cut it in half so I can work with it here. Look at that sandwich. What makes it the French dip? Going right in that jus. And the best part, I get to try it. Hey, this recipe right here is taking French dip to another level. I mean, that beef roast just gets a smokiness from being out on that drum. Cooking those onions down in that beef jus really gives it a lot of flavor. Topped it off with that tangy, a little bit spicy horseradish sauce, and you can't beat dipping it right back in that jus. That's the best part, when you can take that bread, sop up a little of that. Hey, it don't matter if it's messy. This is one recipe that you're gonna wanna try. Promise you're gonna love it. If you like what we're doing, you wanna find out when we're putting out more of these videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also send those comments and questions to our Facebook and Twitter. We love those. We'll see you next time.